Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Litterbox 90 here at Sonoma Raceway. Gonna go left and right here tonight, some road course racing, but we'll go ahead and get through your start and grid here. A little bit of a delayed start tonight. Do apologize about that, but we are getting going. But sitting on pole here will be that 81 Josh Susie. Just set himself on pole here a few seconds ago at the end of qualifying. He will roll off P1 here tonight. Kevin Click, he is going to start in that P2 position. Curtis Kelly hasn't loaded in yet. He will start in P3. We'll see Ken Baum Jr. in that P4 position. He'll sit outside the lane on that second row. And then we'll see Lucas Nilges in that number 3 Toyota. A lot of Toyotas right here with AJ Green sitting 6th position. Then you see Bill Hells, who hasn't spawned in yet, so you don't see him. He will be starting in P7. Brett Perigo, he'll be starting in that P8 position in the O2 machine. You see that kitty cat waving at you? As Brett Strickler will be starting in P9. David Smith Jr. will round out your top 10 here in that Nitro 27 machine. Last week's race winner, Kyle McCarthy, going to start himself one position out of the top 10. Doesn't seem like he's going to have a fun night here. He's going to have to really get on the horse with the lap times these guys are putting down in qualifying if he's going to want to get another race win here this week. He'll start P11. Jeremy Zarfos, he is going to be starting in that P12 position with Colin Forrester in that 13th spot. Then you'll see Kip Easley in that Up in Smoke number 8. He'll be rolling off P14 here tonight with Matthew Fitz in P15. Then it's going to be Dylan Hastings in that number 1 Chevy starting P16. William Brown in P17. You'll turn over here to Jimmy Barr. He'll be starting in that P18 spot with Carson Pittman in 19th. William Hobart in 20th. And then rounding out our field here in that 21st and 22nd position, you'll have Chris Lynn there in 21st. And Andrew May rounding out your field. Look at that. Man, those liveries. All right, and it looks like, Chris, our field is rolling here as I see Josh Susie and co. starting to take off up here. Looks like we're getting ready. It'll be straight to green flag racing with the track being so long. If you're new to watching iRacing, road racing, they will just start green flag after this one initial warm-up lap right here, and then we'll get to racing. We'll see Josh Susie, Kevin Click. See what they're going to be able to do is they come it down. What is the drift section right here, Chris, when they drift this racetrack? See a lot of backwards entries coming around. No, excuse me, it's this section right here coming downhill into the right-hander. This is the drift section at Sonoma. So you see a lot of backwards entries coming in here. Hopefully we don't see any backwards entries tonight. We don't want to see any race cars going around in that corner, but hey, it's going to be a fun race. We know how these racetracks are when you're racing here in these league races. It's almost like the fun race of the league. You know, you've raced at Talladega, you've raced all these, difficult tracks, Martinsville, Dover. You've really been just going short track after 1.5 mile to short track. This is a track where, you know you're not going to come out here and have the greatest night. You just relax. And, something may happen. You might get a great points finish. So just relax, have fun. It's kind of a little bit of a Sunday drive here, but it's still going to be a great race. Our top 4 was only within a couple, I think just a few tenths with each other, all 115s. And I want to say our lowest out of the top 4 was a 115.9, whereas Josh Susie ran a 115.7, so only 2 tenths off between the top 4 there. We know how fast Ken Baum Jr. is, and Curtis Kelly showing a little bit of speed here tonight. We've seen him qualify in P3. Excited to see, it's always the Canadians that are really fast at the road course, so, we'll see how our Canadian friend he'll do. He's going to have to represent, the other part of the North American hemisphere, but, I think Americans like to think that Canadians are like European or something. So we'll roll out of the last turn here. I like to call this Tony Stewart and Davey Allison turn as we'll roll into the green flag. And Chris, we're about to go racing here at the Litterbox 90 at Sonoma. We'll see the green flag get here in just a second. Field tightening up as they come around that left-hander into the front stretch, and it is green, green, green. 81 of Josh Susie and the 25 of Kevin Click going to get a great start, but Curtis Kelly off to a great start as well. He's going to be to that inside lane here to the outside coming into turn 1.
Yeah, we'll see going up this hill how this is going to handle. We know this is right here where it'll make or break some drivers' nights, going into...
we might have had some drivers around, Carson Pittman and everybody falling back there. And, Chris, I forgot to mention, we will have locally enforced cautions only, so no full course cautions, I would assume that's what they usually do on every road course. So, already got some guys going to the grass up there. But as you see, Josh Susie, Kevin Click, that looks like Matthew Fitz.
Yeah, Matthew Fitz around. I know he was saying he's ready for tonight to be over, and he was only in practice earlier. He's like, I'm ready for this night to already be over. So you see him going around here. We already got it out of the way, buddy. Now, we've said your name, so you can calm down and race now.
As through the S's they come. I can't remember all the corner names, man. I used to know every corner name here at Sonoma, but after a while, you forget these things when you don't call races. it's one of those things. It's like, do I really remember every track? You got so many tracks you can remember, of course, so many corners, and with these road courses, you can forget a lot of them. But as we roll down, I know for a fact, into turn 11, coming through turn 12, we'll see at the end of lap 1, it'll be Josh Susie, Kevin Click, and a Ken Baum Jr., with the only position changing between Ken Baum Jr. and Curtis Kelly. So your top 3, though, will be Susie, Click, and Baum Jr.
Yeah, right now you're seeing, whoa, Kevin Click trying to drive it in there hard on Kevin Click. Seeing a lot of people go around. I see Carson Pittman already down pit lane. Brett Strickler down pit lane, probably having a little bit of tire issues. Maybe the setup's just not feeling what they're wanting. But also see Dylan Hastings also went off track just not too long ago. So we're going to try to keep everybody informed. As I say back there, not Lucas Nilge's. Who was that? AJ Green going really wide. Yeah, saw him run really wide there through the corner and then getting back into it. You see him leaning all over Colin Forrester there. Colin Forrester able to go ahead and be able to get around that 97 of AJ Green. But man, as much as my tongue is twisted up, you would think these drivers would be able to keep it a little straighter.
I was going to say, I thought they were going to get twisted up like you are, Chris. I mean, for a second there, it looked like the 97 and the 99 were, or I should say the 97 was using the 99 up there for a second, but so far so good. As they're going to roll into turn 11, you see David Schmill Jr. pulling up behind those company, but Kevin Click still holding on to that 81 of Josh Hussey. But Chris, one thing that is for sure you have to save tonight, we always say tires, tires, tires. Well, it is so difficult to save the tires on a car. At a road course, you see the 81 of Josh Hussey go wide there into turn 2. This could open the door up as they go up the hill, ends to turn 3 and 3A. We'll see as they drive it down the hill what's going to go on here. As we do know in real life, Chris, I want to say they repaved this whole racetrack actually, so, or at least sections of it. Whoa! Curtis Kelly.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like Curtis Kelly getting a little bumpy back there, going off course just like AJ Green did.
Look at this, Chris. This top 4 is battling right now. And Curtis
Right,
Kelly's going to have a chance to gain back up here through these S's. When you're not right up bumper to a car, you can really fly through those S's compared to the cars in front of you. So kind of a luxury if you get off track here a little bit or off course. You can catch back up fairly easily, but you don't want to lose too much of a gap, Chris, because just like a super speedway, they can run away from you. You know that. But
yeah, that is true.
before we were saying, though, I was going to say, we always say save tires, Chris, save tires, but at a road course, I know, and everybody that races knows that if you don't save your tires at a road course, you're writing pretty much your deathbed right there. The race is sealed for you, so you got to save tires here tonight.
Yeah, and we've only got 4 sets on the cars, so that's going to, or 4 sets for the cars, so that's going to be, whoa, big drive in there from Kevin Click. He did set the fastest lap last lap, but Curtis Kelly did set the fastest lap the last lap, 1:15.97, even with that little bobble off course, was still able to set the fastest lap of the session, so good lap there from that 71 machine.
Catching lap traffic, is that the cars that pitted?
I want to say that is the cars that did pit, Josh. That might be Carson Pittman.
No, it's not. I don't know who that is.
It's the 38 of Brett Strickler. And Chris Lynn. So it's Brett Strickler and Chris Lynn. That's going to be the 32 of Chris Lynn right there in front of him.
Yes, okay, he did pit Brett Strickler. I was about to say, man, are they already getting caught? That's crazy. Oh, whoa.
Yeah, just saw a little bit of contact there from Chris Lynn and Joshua Susie. Maybe this might throw off the line for the 81. As you see Chris Lynn all.
Or is that, yeah, it's Chris. Yeah, you're right.
Kevin Click.
Kevin Click's to the inside. As he will make that pass stick to the inside, and Kid Baum Jr. is going to be there now. Josh Susie's going to have to fight this back. You almost got to say, Chris, right there, that's unfortunate for Susie. He was trying to take the line, but that lapped car a little bit in the way, and that opened the door for that 25 of Kevin Click. But you see Susie driving it up through turn 1 and up turn 2 up the hill. Really good drive in through turn 2. We'll see, though. Oh, Kevin Click's going to go wide now. Here comes Josh Susie and Ken Baum, and then the 71 of Curtis Kelly.
Yeah,
this is just trading positions, and he's going to drive back on that 71. Not going to give him the position so easily. And he's going to get spun off of it. 71 of Curtis Kelly going to spin him around. It looks like they're net coated together.
Yeah, he'll get it straightened back out. Who is that? Looks like maybe...
And they're still not done racing. Curtis Kelly jumping the curb and giving him the bump, man. Don't you love the racer mentality, Chris? Don't you love it? Oh, he's almost...
Yeah, Kevin Click not happy with what just happened. Did you
Oh,
see Joshua
off.
Susi off?
Susi off.
It
I
looks
didn't
like
even
Ken
notice
Baum
that.
and Joshua Susi. We're going to actually go watch a replay on this, see what happened between this 81 machines. We're right on board here with Ken Baum. It looks like maybe Ken Baum drove it in there a little too hot.
And Chris, I will say Ken Baum has been pretty much accident-free all year with messing drivers up since we've been in. I think that's the first time I've seen Ken Baum spin somebody around off the nose of his car. You got to think, will that mess with his mental, or is he going to be able to keep going? But, man, you hate it for Josh Susi getting messed up by the lap traffic, then getting a little bit of trouble. All you got to say is, would that lap car right there just change the race?
Well,
they were coming through there. I mean, that could have just honestly changed the race for Josh Susi.
If
now
I'm
back
looking,
to 6th position.
If I'm looking at the timing right now, Josh, I want to say that was the 32 of Chris Lynn. He is a Turn 2 Terribles driver, and Ken Baum and Kevin Click are Turn 2 drivers that are battling with a Nitro driver. So maybe it was a kind of a pick play, trying to throw him off of his rhythm, and then you saw that little bit of contact.
I mean, you're more than allowed to race for your positions. It's not like you did anything wrong there. This isn't Formula One. You don't get the blue flag and the luxury treatment of, hey, I got a faster car than you, so get out of my way. You're allowed to race. I mean, if he was 2-3 laps down, understandable. Like, why are you doing that? But, hey, you're allowed to race for your lead lap. And it's not like from the position that we saw, the angle, camera angle, you didn't see him look like he intentionally, like, drove over to the right. So he was just holding his line on the inside of the track. I mean, I hate to say it for Susi, because as much as I would want to agree that, hey, get that lap driver out of the way as you're pulling up to him, you can't complain about some of these things. Hate it for Susi. I feel for him. But at the same time, keep his head down and digs, man. I think he can remake this deficit. Oh my God, I can't say that word right now. Deficit up. I couldn't say it. He can remake this deficit up. I think he's not out of this race, but it's going to be very hard realistically for him to get back in it and be competitive and race for this win. As you see Ken Baum Jr. hopping the front right off the ground. That's not going to be good for those front rights as he's chattering it up. But he's going to get over turn 2 successfully, as you see Curtis Kelly and Kevin Click, who did have some incident right here earlier. You see the Skybox NASCAR 71 Camaro and that 25 of Kevin Click. He is flying up there in that K1 race gear Ford Mustang.
Yeah, he's trying to make up that lost time that he had there. You know, that was kind of a big wreck that happened between him and Curtis Kelly, and it did get straightened out. We did have a couple of drivers get cycled back. We saw I want to say somebody did jump the curb. I can't remember who it was. My bad on that. But a lot of these drivers are just looking.
Curtis Kelly that re-jumped the curb over him.
Okay, so yeah, you're looking at a lot of these drivers that are just trying to make up lost time like that. So Kevin Click right now, he's just trying to make up the time that he lost off that. Also, Joshua Susi, he's not letting it go. He's trying to get around that 99 of Colin Forster right now.
And if you've drove this track through the S's, you have to be either tucked up to the inside and pass through the outside, or you're not really making the pass here. I mean, you can make the pass, obviously, on the inside, but the car on the outside has to hold up for you, so.
As I see AJ Green.
Spot.
Oh, sorry, Josh.
Chris. I was just going to say, a very difficult spot where the 81 was trying to pass that lapped car, and I think that just spelled disaster for him, man. You hate it. You hate it. I mean, like we said, though, anything can happen and anything can change up. As you see Brett Perigo, he's dropped back 2 spots for that 8th position, the 02 Kitty Cat Ford Mustang, man. That thing's pink, let me tell you. That is a pink and rainbow Kitty Cat race car right there. I think Charlotte would like that one.
Yeah, I do too. My niece would love that race car.
Unless you get close to it and it's got like demon eyes or something, dude. Like those old skateboards used to have back in the day, like Odd Future stuff. I mean, other than that. But we'll see Curtis Kelly starting to. Maybe is he getting that interval? Nah, he's getting that interval down in some sections too. Ken Baum Jr. It just depends on how good Ken Baum Jr.'s car is going to handle.
Oh, Kevin Click off track.
Off into the grass. If you're seeing that aerodynamic damage, yes, it matters a little bit. But here on these road courses, the cars aren't set up just to be, massively cambered into the banking of the left turns. They're not set up for left turns only. So yes, aerodynamics matter. Heavy quotations around that on a road course. You got to think it's mostly in the setup of the race car, and as long as the aerodynamics are working the way they're supposed to, instead of just being a hood covering your windshield and you can't see while you're driving, I see no problem with the damage Kevin Click has. I think he'll be able just to roll fine as long as you don't get any bent toe links or anything. The steering wheel a little wonky-eyed or something. I mean, that's the only thing I could see hindering the performance of that race car. But you got damage on one of your favorite cars or favorite driver's car. I think you're looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, Colin Forster set the fastest lap of the session, 1:15.60. As I say that, going off track just a little bit, but hey, if if you're not getting out in the dirt, you know, you're not having fun.
Susie was all over the back bumper of Colin Forrester a minute ago. He's starting to fall off, so maybe something going on with that 81 is Susie. Obviously spinning around as big as he did, that it's going to make the rear tires get chattered up, heated up, and you're not getting that heat cycle back. This isn't these old bias ply stock car tires that you can overheat and bring back down to temperature. Once you overheat these things once and you spin those tires up just too much one time, you've pretty much lost about 20-25% performance right there in about a lap's time. So you just got to save that tire. You've got to continue just to drive as fast as you can on this horrible tire. Like we had a battle back there between maybe Nilgies or Susie, Forrester. Yeah, it looks like Forrester and Nilgies.
It's like Forrester was able to get around.
I was going to say they were coming too wide there into turn 11. The pass was made. I saw that 99 in the 3. I saw that 99 in that 3 too wide.
Yeah, I was going to say I did just see Colin Forrester get around. You know, but a lot of things that you're going to see here tonight, Josh, is you know, a lot of settling out. Everybody's starting to just kind of figure out where their pace is. You know, we've still got 35 laps left to go in this race. So, you know, a lot of this race is going to be just really putting your head down as you see Susie now starting to catch Lucas Nilgies. So maybe Lucas Nilgies is just starting to fall off with his pace, wanting to save a little bit of time. Yeah, I was going to say big drive in there from Susie.
That corner used to be a double apex. I don't think it's the same layout as. It might be the same layout. I don't know. Did they? No, they still run the modern layout. I don't remember what layout had the double apex. Maybe it's the modern layout. I just haven't drove Sonoma in so long. But man, the corners here, they're almost like blind in some areas. It's not like they're like blind in a sense of like if you've drove VIR going over hills. It's more blind in a sense of the race car just really blocks the apex where you're trying to turn into. In some corners, if you're on triple monitors, it makes it a little bit easier. But man, Sonoma on single monitors, it's almost like a Sebring, Chris. It can be very difficult. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you
really
understand.
can.
You've drove Sebring in GT cars. You've drove Sonoma in stock cars. You understand that this is one of those tracks that can reach out and just kind of snatch you and you not realize it. Especially when you used to come by the old drag strip down here, when you would turn right instead of going straight and going down the hill. When you come by the old drag strip, remember everybody would drive it off into the tire ditch. Right there. So now, see, we used to go down the hill and then come up right, and that's where the double apex came in right here to the right-hander. So, yeah, we are on the new layout. That's what confused me for a second there, because I'm so used to running that old layout, man. We ran it for so many years. Look at that, Chris. Curtis Kelly's going to make that pass at 71. I didn't even notice that he was knew he was in striking distance. Didn't know he was going to go for it there, and he did. And looks like he's running away with it. 71 going to make a good pass. We'll go back on the replay here since I was yapping when that beautiful pass is going on. But you notice, went to the inside. Kinbaum Jr. realized he had it, and he's not going to fight too much for it. The two's just going to let him, hey, go do your thing, man. We'll see if I can catch you back up in a little bit. As we go back live here, and yeah, you see going here into turn 11. Looks like Kinbaum's going to set it up. He's going to try to go to the outside, but this is really going to give him a little bit of a drive out on corner, but it's not like an oval. You got to run these corners on the racing line. If you get any type off the racing line, you're going to lose exit speed. As you see that, he did lose a little bit of exit speed in that 71. Able to pull away, but Kinbaum has been pretty fast there through that turn 1, turn 2 section up the hills. Around, it looks like that is a Jimmy Barr in that 12 machine.
Yeah, Jimmy Barr going around. As I saw him start losing positions there. Did drop about 3 or 4 positions, but does look like he's got it under control now. Just every time I see somebody, I see Andrew May going off track a lot. Don't want to call you out there, Bubba, but you are going off track a lot. But you know, hey, you're able to keep it going straight a lot better than me. I was telling Fitz earlier in this race, I applaud anybody that is racing this race right now because I hate this track.
Well, you got to think, Chris, any type of grass touching at this track considers it as an off track sometimes. Probably just that.
Yeah, probably.
Unless Andrew May's just, out there doing donuts. That's good, man.
Well, he did.
As long as you don't stop the race, hey, we don't care.
Yeah,
look at him. There he is. He's like, I'm getting out the way, man.
As I want to say, during practice, I did see him come flying down the drag strip, and everybody was like, whoa, wait, you can drive down the drag strip?
Yeah,
so he was hauling the mail down the drag strip earlier.
I'd be out there running side bets right now. Anybody that's 2 laps down already at lap 13, meet me at the drag strip. $20 wager, son. As Kinbaum is starting to lose a little bit of that time now to Curtis Kelly as he is starting to pull away. So Curtis might have been just saving those tires, Chris. We were talking about it. I know he had that little bit of that accident But he really didn't get the brute force of it. That was all Kevin Click that got the sliding in the flat spot and almost on the tires, as the 71 of Curtis Kelly pretty much just pushed him until they both dismantled, or dislinked, excuse me, I should say, I don't know why I said dismantled, but they both dislinked the race cars, and kind of cruised as Josh Susi is under pressure from that Lucas Nilge's machine. But it looks like he's going to shut the door right there, and we're going to keep rolling.
Yeah, so Josh Susi back up into that 4th position, Josh. He's moving his way up, back up into the position. As you see right there in front of him, Andrew May in that 22. He is just getting out of the way of everybody. He's going to go ahead and let that 81 machine and that 3 of Lucas Nilge's go ahead and get by him. So we'll go back on board here with Curtis Kelly. He's currently set the fastest lap, that last lap, excuse me, at 1:15.66. So, man, he is really starting to haul the mail here. So already got a 2-second gap between him and Ken Baum. Ken Baum's starting to slowly fall off pace. And Kevin Click, though, after that spin and incident earlier, not giving up the fight, though.
You know, this is considered the historic cup, or as known as the shoot layout. So it's funny that this is turn 4, Chris, and on the actual track map for Sonoma, it goes from turn 4A right there to guess what turn this is? Turn 7. Because, I mean, you still get the track map for 4, 5, and 6. We just don't run 4, 5, and 6 anymore. So when you look at the track map, though, that's what it says. We go from turn 4 to turn 7.
Huh.
So you get 3 little micro turns in there. Oh, he was flying around that corner.
Yes, right now, everybody looks like they've just kind of settled out and figured out what they want going on. This Kevin Click right now. Like I said, not letting Ken Baum get away. He's still got a 3-second gap between him. You know, 3-second gap on a super speedway, that is a massive gap. But on a road course like this, a 3-second gap is not that bad. As right now, it looks like Colin Forrester going ahead and electing to come down pit lane. So we might start seeing the first pit cycles come in. As I want to say Chris Lynn also coming down pit lane. I want to say I saw AJ Green about lap 7. Yeah, lap 6. AJ Green jumped to pit. So maybe had a little bit of incident there for that 97 machine. Yeah.
There's no stage, right?
No.
Okay, I know some leagues will do stages for road courses. So good thing that we're going green flag, baby. So yeah, we will see some cautions, or not cautions, excuse me, pit cycling here soon, Chris. We know about lap 15, lap 16, 17, I would assume these tires are going to really starting to fall off. I mean, let's see, that last lap of Curtis Kelly before he comes across the line, let me check it, was a 1:15.9, so not really too far off. Let's see. This lap he's going to set a 1:16.0, so basically a 1:15.9 again. Pretty much identical lap times, and Ken Baum ran a 1:16.67, so
yeah,
you see they are starting to fall off a little bit, but you can really see the difference here with the 71 pulling up to that number 8. Number 8 could also just not be very comfortable driving on this track right now.
Yeah, you know, I can definitely attest. Whoa. I always hate seeing them go all the way out there and then getting so close to that little jut that comes out there. But you know, one of the things that I'll say is, like I said, I hate this track. This is one of those. I don't really have anything good to say about it. You know, and I give anybody that's come out here and raced on this track tonight, I will give you a virtual high five, because you've got bigger cojones than me. I hate this track, and I will do anything in my power to not race it.
Don't lie. You know, as soon as you'd be in a league, you'd race it. So
like you wouldn't. I would probably race it for 3 laps and then wreck.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I just like to all that 4 hours. As soon as I mess up one time, I realize, yeah, there's no shot for me here. And I just leave.
Yep, that's me. That is me. As you see Dylan Hastings in that background just a second ago coming down pit lane. Curtis Kelly still running Actually, that last lap was a 1:17.65, and Ken
2
Baum,
seconds off from 2 laps ago.
yeah, and Ken Baum set a 1:16.37. So Ken Baum has the more consistent lap here between those 2 laps. So we'll see if Curtis Kelly might be starting to take his foot off the gas a little here. Whoa, big jump there, and a big drive in from Ken Baum. Kevin Click also, excuse me, that's the 8 there of Kip Easley that was all over the rumble strips. Josh Susie still not letting that 3rd position get too far away from him. Still 3 seconds behind Kevin Click. So we've got the little mini map up here on the screen, trying to make it a little bigger, but it's not actually working in SDK. So, but you can see where your driver is on the track if they are clustered up like here, as I see the 29. What was that? Who's that? Somebody sitting. Is that the 32? Yeah, 32 of Chris Lynn. Looks like he's just pulled off the track. Spun around and maybe not getting his stuff started up. It does look like the wheel is just moving ever so slightly. We'll have to check and
Or he just spun out and he's just chilling there like,
what's it going to do?
Having a think.
It's just one of those things like we were just talking about, Josh. Is it even worth it? Is it even worth it?
He's got a cool view, though, of the people coming down the track. Did you see, Jimmy Barr, that's his teammate. He started driving at him sitting there.
Susie now starting to come up into this lap traffic, 3 wide here. Going into the corner. Susie going to drive it a little wide there, but he's going to be able to keep it under control.
It's Curtis Kelly's pretty much just taking control of this race so far. We'll see how he's able to manage here coming into lap 20. They should. No, he ran a 1:15.9 again last lap. So these tires might not be falling off as much as we think they are, Chris. I think he might have just had a hiccup a couple laps ago.
Yeah, maybe just had a hiccup.
He ran that 1:17 because so far it seems like they are holding. Yeah, and he just ran a 1:15.5, so even faster and literally a thousandth of a second away from running his fastest lap. Not even a thousandth, like a hundredth. 0.01 of a second. I don't know what that is, man. I'm not a mathematician.
Right now, we're just we're kind of watching. I've been watching the ticker here, just seeing if anything's really going on. As I see William Brown right now starting to drive up on the back bumper of David Smill Jr. So right now, this is currently your closest battle for position up in the top 10. As I say that, Brett Perigo also driving up behind William Brown. So this 9 and 02 are actually starting to look a little bigger in that 27's rearview mirror. So we should be having a battle here for that 6th position here, but not in actually a couple of corners. As right on board here with William Brown. Just watch him going through the corners. You see all of that elevation change. That's what I was talking about, Josh. It's just what I don't like when you're sitting in that virtual cockpit and you're looking over them. Seeing in real life you can kind of lift your head up just a little bit to see over the dash or something. In the sim, it's not like that. Whoa, lock up there for the 27 of David Smill.
It's like that if you got VR.
Well, it's like that if you got VR, but if you're like me and don't have VR, then you can't do that. So right now, David Smill is under attack from William Brown. William Brown actually in chat earlier was saying that he wanted nothing to do with this race either. But currently seeing him knock on that door for 6th place, I would say, man, hey, you're having a good race here tonight.
Yeah, up 10 spots. Is that Kevin Click just blown up in the corner down there?
No, it looks like it's the 32.
Or not Kevin Click, excuse me. I meant to say Chris Lynn.
Yep,
He's letting everybody know, you go wide, you're messing up, son.
Is Kevin Click actually down pit lane? A little bit of a lockup there. I wonder if he's going to elect to take a little bit of damage repair. Probably not. I would say I would get the tires on it and go as fast as I could. Get out as fast as I could, excuse me.
As it lap 21, we'll see Curtis Kelly still just digging. What was his last lap there? 1:15.9. So everybody else is falling off, Chris, and Curtis Kelly is saying, hey, I got like 30 more laps on these joints, man. I'm going to keep rolling. As the Skybox NASCAR 71 doing a good job. You see Ken Baum Jr. Beautiful livery right there every week. I mean, I know he runs, I think, that same livery these past couple of weeks with the 2 chrome numbers, especially in that sun here at Sonoma. Just looks so good on that race car. He's trying to play a little bit of catch up here, but Chris, look at 3rd place after Kevin Click and everybody coming down pit road. That's put Josh Susie back. Or no, excuse me, he did pass Lucas Noges and everybody. So yeah, did work his way back up into 3rd, and he is just trying to roll. 11 seconds off the gap, unless he had just a miracle pit stop and everybody else just kind of fumbled the bag and had a lot of mess ups. I don't know, man. It's going to be a tough night for Josh Susie, but still, a good handful of laps, Chris, here to go. It's not over.
Yeah, we've still got 24 laps to go, and I will say, you know, being in league races, it's one of those things where you can really get discouraged and get upset, not want to race anymore, not want to really go on anymore in the race, and you just say, all right, put your head down, keep going, and the next thing you know, you're up 10 positions because everybody else is spinning and wrecking and having bad pit stops and having mess ups and whatnot. And then you're like, okay, I'm actually in this. And then the next thing you know, 2 laps later, you're fighting for 3rd place. So it could be, just one of those things where you just got to keep your head down and keep pushing. And Josh Susie's showing you right now, just keeping his head down and pushing up in that 3rd position. As I saw Jimmy Barr go off track, I wonder if he was just going down there to poke at that 32 of Chris Lynn.
Sorry, Chris. I was muted that whole time and talking. Thought that's why you were being quiet for me. I apologize.
No, you're good.
But, you said it exactly, Chris. It's one of those things of you can start a race here. Look at William Brown, like you were saying, up 12 positions. You were pointing him out. I mean, you can start a race at a road course in the rear of the field, and like you said, 20 laps into it, you're running top 5, and you're thinking, how the heck did I get here? Offs, people messing up. You got to stay consistent at a road course, and I keep seeing the lap times. Oh, well, one time it's a 1:15. Like, look at that. Curtis Kelly just ran the best lap of the race. A 1:15.5 won that last lap. A 1:16 from Ken Baum, a 1:15 from Susie, and they were all running 1:15s the lap before that again. So it's not that I think the tires are necessarily falling off so much. I think it's just inconsistency. I mean, you know it, Chris. You can't mess up at a road course. Look at Formula One. Look at any other road racing discipline. One mess up puts you in a world of trouble, and one hiccup in a stock car puts you in 4 worlds of trouble because it's even harder to catch up in a stock car than it is a GT car. I mean, a Formula car is very hard to catch up in, but, those things have such amazing draft and all that on these road courses where it's a stock car. You just got to have big cojones out there.
Really. I mean, it's the truth. You saw Curtis Kelly coming down pit lane. So that 71 going ahead to elect to bring that car down pit lane, get them 4 tires put on that car, and hopefully set some faster laps as Josh Susie now moves himself up into that 2nd spot. You see Ken Baum Jr. at least stay out 1 more lap. But with 22 laps to go, I'm wondering how long they're going to stay out on these tires. I mean, that was, the kind of confusing thing, like not confusing, I guess you could say, but, just kind of, wondering how long it was going to take everybody to decide to come down pit lane. As you see, Curtis Kelly has now moved himself up into that 3rd position, or didn't move, excuse me, I confused myself. He has stayed in that 3rd position, even though he did lose those 2 positions coming down pit lane. So whenever Ken Baum and Josh Susie come down pit lane, he's going to make up that time. So, Curtis Kelly, having a good pit stop and everything, this could, be a good thing for him as you see Ken Baum coming down pit lane now.
Ken Baum going to be rolling his way down pit lane. Chris, that should give the lead, yeah, back to Josh Susi, as he will elect to stay out and keep digging here. A place where he was originally, but with only a 13-second gap to Curtis Kelly, he's definitely going to lose that lead once he comes down pit road. And it's not like he can hope for a caution or something. The only thing he can hope for is somebody's fingers slip and they accidentally hit a keybind or something and throw a caution. I think that's the only thing that's really going to save Josh Susi's night, besides Curtis Kelly or William Brown or whoever it may be that's in contention here towards the end. I mean, not necessarily William Brown. He's only going to be probably recycled back into fifth after all the pit cycles, but you know what I mean. Curtis Kelly, Ken Baum, I mean, all these guys have chances once the cycles hit back, but I really think it's going to be Curtis Kelly if he just sticks to his P's and Q's, Chris, and keeps his head down. Colin Forster just ran the fast lap of 1:15.14.
Yeah, as I was just noticing that too, Josh. Colin Forster just setting the fastest lap. You are correct. What was you see Andrew May going off track there? Able to get it back under control. Just going to go ahead and say, hey, man, I'm going to go ahead and pull it down pit lane.
Andrew May's like, I'm getting tired of pulling over for these people, man. I'm just pulling it down pit road.
So seeing Curtis Kelly still 13 seconds off Josh Susi. So Susi still electing to stay out at least one more lap. So wondering if he's going to try to pull what he did what was that, 2 races ago, Josh, where he stayed out when we were saying, oh, they're going to come down pit lane. They're going to come down pit lane. And they never came down pit lane.
Yeah, you never know with these guys, man. But then again, I think we're so used to the older Gen 6 cars, Chris, and all that. I think our brains are a little bit fried when it comes to these pit cycles. So I think we just got to get used to it. I haven't drove them in a while. I mean, I definitely haven't drove. I remember when the Gen 7, next gen, whatever you want to call them, when these cars first came out, everybody hated them. They hated the steering. They hated the way the force feedback felt because there was no force feedback. I remember I used to have to crank my force feedback up like 50% just to get it to fill. So it's like I haven't drove these cars in a while, Chris, and with the seasons obviously in real life, the cars being upgraded with the aerodynamic changes NASCAR inquires or does or whatever it may be. I mean, you do know the car gets updated. Everybody knows that. So it's been a minute since we've drove it. Man, I'm horrible at tire strategies now. This season has proved, Chris, we have no idea what we're talking about anymore when it comes to tire strategies.
Yeah.
I mean, we usually get it right with how it's going to cycle back out. We know that, but man, there's so many times I think, dude, in the Gen 6 car, we would have definitely pitted by now, right? Or am I just dumb? I feel like we'd have definitely pitted for 4 tires, but those cars weren't built as good, purpose-built for road courses as these Gen 7 cars are, so that could be a big underlying factor in it, Chris. A GT car doesn't have to pit every 20 laps for tires.
You are right.
I mean, it's just one of those things.
Well, it could be, like you said, the Gen 6 cars, they were oval cars that also went on road courses. These cars are built, for oval and road course. So, and it also with, independent suspension and all that, it helps you're turning left whenever the car is actually, designed to go left. Or right, excuse me.
Bigger brakes, bigger wheels. I mean, just overall, a bigger tire circumference on the ground, more grip. Like you said, independent suspension instead of the rear track bar. The geometry completely changes. You've got so many underlying factors. And just that rumble strip in a rear solid beam car can make the rear end unsettle. And once you unsettle the car, Josh Susi, big lockup. Little bit of a drift into turn 11. Gonna save it from hitting the tires and the wall. And he's gonna keep digging here. Man, you gotta think that could be just showing him that he might be feeling the pressure a little bit, Chris.
Yeah, as you're seeing, Curtis Kelly still about 12 and a half seconds between him and Josh Susi. So a little bit of time lost there off of that wide drive from Susi.
Fast lap from Colin Forster, 1:14.88. Sorry about that, Chris.
No, you're good.
That's an impressive lap on the race trim.
Yeah, especially in middle of the race.
Faster than the qualifying.
I was going to say, faster than qualifying. Looks like Kip Easley having a little bit of issue.
But with the track gripped up as much as it is now, way more than qualifying, we will see some faster lap times like that. It's not like you're saying, man, where was that in qualifying, Colin? It's like, well, hey, where was the grip on the track in qualifying? It's not like there was a lot, so, But you like to see that, man. You like to see a faster lap in the race trim than in a qualifying. It just always feels good. As Brett Perigo, he's under pressure, but from all the wrong people, Matthew Fitz, I want to say that's the 27 of David Smith Jr., he is racing that Perigo machine, as well as Kevin Click. So the only person in there that is a lap car actually is Matthew Fitz. So these cars are on the lead lap here besides that 69 in between them. But Kevin Click in that 27, they're both going to be having a little bit of a battle here. That's turn 2 Terribles and Nitro cars racing each other right there, as you'll see the Ford and that bow tie Chevy.
As you'll see Kevin Click go ahead and get around that 27 to David Smil. David Smil looking a little loose coming out of corner exits. I was just watching him while you were talking, Josh. I just see a little bit of wiggle in that rear end of 27. So maybe not liking the setup. Is a little bit of a lockup there from that 25 Kevin Click. As we'll go back up here on board, see how Curtis Kelly, Josh Rasusi is faring out. It looks like Curtis Kelly has put about a second's time onto Josh Susi, so now got it under 12 seconds, so 11.95. So maybe this little bit of lap traffic right in front of Josh Rasusi slowing him down just a little bit. As I want to say, that is the, I can't see the number.
Let's see, do you want to draw Susi, and then in front of him, that'd be the 13.
Okay, so that is the 13 of William Hobart. You see Hobart going to go ahead and pull it down pit lane. So going to go ahead and get out of the way of Susi, but Susi still staying out on those older tires.
Good to see Andrew May come back out on the track. You know, when you're down laps like this and you've had a horrible night, seeing the drivers put out pit road, you think, oh man, I think he might go DC, but hey, it's good to see him still out there turning laps. You gotta give props to the guys that know that it's been a tough night, but are still out there just digging, man. That is what makes these leagues go around, man. I mean, if you just had a couple cars on the lead lap racing and nobody else in the session, where would the fun be? You gotta have, in some of these races, you may not want to be it, but if it's not your track, you gotta be the field filler, man. And there ain't nothing wrong with being the field filler tonight. It's just one of those things. You're doing your job, you're out there racing, and you're trying to get some points. So, big respect to all the guys still in the race car tonight and haven't called it a night yet. I know if it was me, I'd already be at all that.
Already would have called it.
If I'm under 10th place or I'm a lap down plus at a road course, I mean, not under 10th place. It's not like I'm a big old quitter. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a quitter, but, being laps down like that, accidents, whatever it may be, even a lap plus down, it's like one of those things of, not even gonna waste my energy anymore. I'm just gonna get off this thing. So big shout out to all those guys, man. Like I said, it's just one of those weeks that one week you may be the winner, the next week you may be the field filler. You just never know what's gonna happen in these tracks, man. So just a big shout out to everybody that keeps everybody just going and having a good time out there. It's fun to see everybody just still digging.
As we now have got 15 laps to go.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, 15 laps to go here. So this race has really just went by quickly. Curtis Kelly still knocking on that door of Josh Rasusi. Now got it under 11 got it to 11 seconds. Now under 11 seconds. So going to be interesting to see.
Chris Lynn is still down there in turn 4A. When they're coming down the hill next time, Chris Rasusi, you switch to Chris Lynn and go to his hood cam. So we can just watch them come down the hill at us. That's what we've done. We've given Chris Lynn a camera. We just told him to hang out there in turn 4. Don't worry, he's got permission, guys.
Susi going ahead to a pit lane.
And yeah, Josh Susi finally going to pull the trigger, Chris, at lap 31, but there he is. The man that I'm looking to possibly take this race here tonight without any bad things or harmful things coming his way. As in, on the racetrack, we're not throwing any harm in Curtis Kelly outside the racetrack, obviously. So as long as nothing hurts that race car, nothing gets in his way, or he doesn't get in his own way. Or doesn't get in his own way. Excuse me. I know how easy it is to step on your own toes. Just look at that little bit of a battle as we are here on board with our Chris Lynn turn 4 action cam. As you're going to see Curtis Kelly diving it down there into the corner. As you'll also see, who is that?
The 29.
29?
Oh, yeah. Jeremy Zarfos.
All right, there you go. As you see Ken Baum Jr. pulling up into the frame, as well as Josh Susi. Susi came out of pit road, Chris, and he's all over the back bumper of Ken Baum. As that was our turn 4 Chris Lynn cam. Sponsored by Turn 2 Terribles. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
But yeah, Josh, you were saying Susie came out still in third place on that pit stop. He's got Ken Baum Jr. right in front of him. So we'll see if Ken Baum can hang on with those tires. But maybe Susie was doing this as a play. You know, now that you think about it, Josh, he's going to have the better tires in 10 laps. So maybe he's going to run down Curtis Kelly. He's only got a 13-second gap between him. So if Curtis Kelly can stay in stride, I don't really see it happening. If he does make a big mistake, then maybe you could see it. But, you know, I would say as it looks like we've got a lot of cars down there in the turn now, Josh. Right now, we're just going to go back on here with Curtis Kelly as Josh actually had to get up. We had somebody knocking on our door, so we had to go check and see what was going on. But like I was saying, Curtis Kelly still got about a 14-second gap now between Ken Baum Jr. and Josh Susie is now under 2 seconds behind Ken Baum Jr.
Yeah, Susie really starting to pull up there to Ken Baum Jr. We'll see how that's going to go, but I would assume it's going to go well for him. Susie should, like we were saying, make some pretty easy work of him on these fresher tires, but... And Susie did set the fastest lap at a 1:14.81 that last lap by. So now we got Andrew May down there as well. He's joined them. Oh, we got 3 Turn 2 Terribles cars. Jimmy Barr as well. I told you, man, that's the Turn 4A camera sponsored by Turn 2 Terribles. I don't say you heard it from me.
Susie setting the fastest lap of the session there, Josh, 1:14.81. Yeah, as you were getting up to go check who was knocking on the door, Josh, I turned it to it and I was like, look at who's sitting in the corner now, and you weren't there, and I was like, oh man.
Yeah, we've got they say, what is it, Three's Company?
Misery loves company. Misery loves company.
And you're not wrong there either. Is it lap 35? We'll be coming to 10 to go this next time by. Josh Susie gonna make a turn, or not, excuse me, a run for it into turn 2. So if you want to ride on board with that 81, Chris, he should have some big drives here coming up the hill. Good viewer angle right here is coming down the hill into 4A. He should be able to drive it into this corner so much harder than that to a Ken Baum. And this turn is also going to really show us how good his turn-in is, how good his driving is. And those tires are able to really get all the way up to the rumble strip. And he is going to dig here through the S's. We'll see how he does through 8, 9, and 10 here and down into 11. If he's able to catch him in, on the front stretch, maybe make a pass. He's right on board hit with them through the S's. This is going to go through at 9 and 9A. And then through turn 10 here. Getting set up for the little chute. I want to say this is called like the Canadian Straight, actually, if I'm not mistaken. It's been so long. That might not even be the right track. I could be completely wrong. And Josh Susie going to pull up in there into turn 11. So he's definitely there. It's just, will he pass Ken Baum Jr.? Now I got to Google that, Chris, if that's what that's called. I want to say that little straightaway right there, though, is called Canada Straight. I could be lying to you, though.
Canadian Tire, maybe?
I could be thinking of a completely different track. I don't see anything about it.
Right now, we're going to go back on board here with Curtis Kelly. See him still managing that very good lead that he's got over Ken Baum and Joshua Susie, a 13-second gap. But Ken Baum has now got that 81 of Joshua Susi all in that back mirror.
Yeah, man, it's gonna kill me, Chris. Why do I feel like that's called Canada Straight? I don't know, man. I could be lying to you completely. But who cares? As Susi gonna get past Ken Baum Jr. because Ken Baum gonna go off track a little bit. A wide drive-in, gonna use all the angle there. Well, Susi might have got a decent pull to the turn, or excuse me, Ken Baum, but I think Susi's gonna be able just to get him with the tire life on his car. It just should be pretty easy for Susi to hold off this now, unless he makes a mistake here. Now we know that he isn't safe from accidents here tonight. It has happened to him.
Yeah, but maybe he's got his bad juju already shaken out. We know he always he catches the wrong end of the stick, we should say, most races. But maybe he's got his bad juju out. He's able to keep it under control here. Let's see. He's got, I want to say that is the 29 of Jeremy Zarfos right in front of him. So see if Zarfos holds up that 81 to let his teammate Ken Baum catch back up to him.
Oh no, I could see that ending badly here for the 29 right as they go off into or excuse me, is that the 29 Jeremy Zarfos?
Yes.
Yeah, that is okay. As I say, if he was to block him there, the 81 might say, "Hey, get out of my way, son." But it looks like Jeremy Zarfos is going to catch the memo before he has to. He's like, "I'm getting out of here. I ain't getting wrecked."
Yeah, we could have had a Kyle Petty moment there. We could have had a Kyle Petty moment there.
Oh my gosh, dude! Like father, like son. Chris.
That was
like father, like son.
That was always the best Kyle Petty clip ever.
What the heck was that? We know he didn't say that.
We didn't say heck.
Oh my goodness! And it's his voice, man. It's just that iconic Kyle Petty voice. I love that, man. I love that. I also think of Tony Stewart there as well. So it's like a final cup series here at Sonoma. Who did he dump in that corner? Man, I can't remember who he took out. Typical smoke style, man. But I want to say whoever it was, they had bumped him and moved him, so.
Joey Logano? We'll just say Joey Logano.
I can't remember who it was. honestly can't. I don't know why I'm having a brain fart on that, but I don't really think of Sonoma too much. When I think of Sonoma, I think of Ricky Rudd. Was it Ricky Rudd that spun out Davey in turn 11 and they black flagged him on the checkered flag lap and gave the win to Davey even though he was like finished in third place?
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was Ricky Rudd, I want to say. He's the one that drove the Tide car, right?
Yes.
I know Ricky Craven drove the Tide car, but this was Davey, so yeah. That was like, what, 91, 92? I think that was... I'd also been one of Davey's last wins. I could be lying there. Could be lying there, but we'll get back onto track here. No, it was not Watkins Glen. It was Sonoma.
Okay. 7 laps to go, though. Curtis Kelly has still got that 13-second gap between him and Susi. But Susi, let's not put him down. This has been one hell of a drive from that 81 machine. Getting that bump from Ken Baum Jr., actually, and still able to, just not let go of that rope. Just still keep dragging himself back up to the front. Good drive here from that 81 machine.
An excellent drive from the 81. Your pole sitter was looking fast at the start of the race and just unfortunately got caught up in the trouble. But he's worked his way back up after all of his troubles and got himself getting a good solid P2 here. Unless Ken Baum's got something to say late here in the run, he's still peaking, Chris. Only 7/10 back.
Yeah, Josh, but I don't know if the tires are gonna really be. As I say that, the 81 getting a little wiggly coming out of that corner. As I see Jimmy Barr, William Hobart, and Brett Perigo. Looks like they're having an incident. Oh, actually, I take that back. That's all them pulling down there, just hanging out. Never mind.
As I say, they're all chilling down there. Everybody's just got their own little corner.
Hey, what best place to watch the race than in the corner?
Well, heck, that's what they used to do back in the day. You ever seen those old racing videos, Chris? I mean, rally, stock cars, it
Whoa.
doesn't matter. There was
Whoa.
Jimmy Zarfo said, "I'm going." He just let him go. Curtis Kelly said, "Get out of my way." He's like, "All right, my bad, bro, my bad."
It's
Was that
Susie
Brett
now.
Strickler? Was that Brett Strickler in the
That was
38?
the 38 of Brett Strickler, yes.
Who did I say? Is that who I said?
I don't remember.
Oh, I think I said another name. Oh well. As you see them both, a little bit of a drift there out of turn 11. But Curtis Kelly going to be leading here with 5 laps to go. We'll see if he can bring it home, Chris. I mean, Josh Susie's brought it down by 2 seconds from 13 seconds, but it's still.
Yeah, but you also have to think that that 38, the 71 probably got out of the gas a couple of times there to avoid any contact with that 38. Looks like they did make a little bit of contact there, and you saw Brett Strickler go way wide there out of that corner.
As I say, don't you love how you can see the tire marks there indicating that everyone is taking the Brett Strickler line? So there's multiple people driving off track right there. But hey, that's what you love about these road courses, man. You don't get penalized for it. It's not, like I said, it's not like Formula One. You get your, 4 times or whatever off of them sometimes if you go too bad off, but you're in a league race. iRating doesn't matter. Might as well cut the grass while you're out there, man. Pretty sure the yards dudes out there would really appreciate you if you get out there. But look, there's not really much grass out here. It's a lot of dirt.
I was about to say it's a lot of dirt.
Sonoma, man. We're not a VIR. I'm dreaming of VIR, man. Every time we go road course racing, I think of VIR. It makes me want to get in the rig and get on my favorite road course. That's where they need to take stock cars is VIR. But man, that number 1 machine of Dylan Hastings is putting a little bit of pressure on that Ken Baum Jr. machine. He's going to get back around him.
Yeah, 4 laps to go here. It looks like Curtis Kelly might have this one in the bag, Josh. He has really just taken over this lead and said, "All right, guys, I'll see y'all later."
Yeah, with 4 laps, or excuse me, 4 laps here. Curtis Kelly, he's kind of just on a Sunday drive now. Just to get this race over with. He's done an excellent job here. Kept the car clean besides, that little bit of an incident he had with Kevin Click coming over turn 2 that got Kevin Click sideways. They made contact, but other than that, man, as I say, Kevin Click having a little bit of fun right there. It's been a great drive from Curtis Kelly, Chris. And, speaking of great drive, Josh Susie, he also had a little bit of an incident earlier. I can't remember who it was that
It was Ken Baum.
Was it Ken Baum? Okay, so it was Ken Baum. Bumped him, and then he got around there in turn 7 and 7A, so able to get himself back up in the second spot. 12 seconds still off of Curtis Kelly. But overall, just a good drive from Josh Susie. Even work his way back up from the 6th position he was in, 5th position, one of those two, all the way back up in the second, and setting himself into a good podium spot and pulling away from that number 2 machine of Ken Baum Jr., solidifying that position even more, as all he's got to do is keep it clean, keep it fast, and keep it on the track, and Josh Susie's going to come away here with at least a podium.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really complain, after having, like you said, Josh, that little bit of adversity. You can't really complain about a podium. It's not the first place, but it's not the first place position. But at this point, if I had a night like that, where I got spun, and if I was able to, claw myself back up into that second position, I would take it. I would honestly take it and be happy with it.
As we ride on board here with your leader, Chris, and yeah, exactly. You got to take what you can get sometimes here to track like this. It's just, it's give or take. You're either going to have the worst night of your life, or you're going to have the best night of your life with the luck of somebody else having the worst night of your life. As Curtis Kelly is just taking advantage of everything that's came his way. Had some missteps himself. I mean, it's one of those things. You can't, say he's had a perfect race. Did have a little bit of an issue earlier with, like I said, that 25, but everybody's had, a little bit of their incidents tonight, but he's able to keep his calmness, keep his composure, and not really got himself off a lot of time there when he made that accident. So that was one thing that I think really helped him. Kept his head leveled, kept his head down, and he's been digging, Chris. And I think, like you said, we're teeing him off here for a victory. We've got one to go this next time by, as he's at lap 44, coming to lap 45 here as he comes down into turn 4 and 4A. Did you see Chris Lynn? We're on board at his turn 2 Terrible's car. just watching these drivers come down the hill. There's Josh Susie. As you see, Ken Baum Jr.'s got a lap car in between them. That's Kyler McCarthy.
Yeah, last week's race winner, Kyler McCarthy, you see currently sitting in that 10th spot, but a lap down is that 24. So just being happy to walk out with a top 10. Like I said, Josh, I would take any top 10 at this point, any position in that top 10. I would be happy with it after a race at Sonoma. I can't say how much I don't like this track.
Curtis Kelly should be on his white flag lap.
You are correct. So white flag for that 71. See him go around one last time. See if he can hold
we'll
on.
Stay on board here with him. As he comes down the hill for the last time tonight. Through 4A. And down here into turn 7, we'll see how he does going through the S's, Chris. He's just got to keep it clean. I mean, he could really just cruise here, but it looks like he is going to stay on pace. He's still digging a little bit. But yeah, I see him slowing up just a little bit. He is kind of just cruising it. Not getting out there as wide as you might want to sometimes, but hey, he's still digging. He ain't taking it easy. But so far, so good. And coming down into the last corner, Curtis Kelly's going to take this right turn into turn 11. And we'll see the checkered flag waving. And the litter box 90, it's going to be taken, it's going to be grabbed, and it is going to be absolutely ran by that 71 of Curtis Kelly. An excellent job here tonight, picking up a race win at Sonoma Raceway. Good job from that 71 is Josh Susie. He's going to come through turn 11. And Josh Susie will finish in that P2 spot. And here we go with Ken Baum Jr. He just crossed the line in that 3rd position. Kevin Click 4th. And Colin Forster, great job from him, Chris. He's up into that 5th position, 8 positions up. We'll see him unless he doesn't have a spin out or something here in turn 11, he'll take home this top 5.
Yeah, especially after the last couple of weeks, having a really fast race car and then just, having stuff happen to him where he can't race anymore, and then the next thing you know is he comes back from nowhere. It looks like William Brown and Lucas Nilges were about to take that position from him. Wonder if he was slowing up, saying, "Ha, you can't catch." Oh, like one of those, like, "Ha, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna not push the gas," and then almost got passed.
We still do have some drivers coming through to finish their lap. So once they get all done, we'll get through our finishing order. But we know for sure your race winner will be Curtis Kelly. An excellent race from him here tonight. Josh Susie will finish P2. So we go back on board with him. He's already burning it out. I wasn't thinking he was going to be already doing it, but he is. We catch him on board here. Just doing absolutely big donuts. Oh, he's going to do a little bit of a drift right here. Heck, this looks like the same kind of parking lot I used to do some of my drift events in, Chris.
Are we going to the drag strip?
Nah, looks like we're going to go parking on the start-finish line. You hear Josh Susie revving up at him, congratulating him. But Curtis Kelly, man, what an excellent drive from him here tonight, Chris. And I think we should be good to go ahead and get your finishing order up on screen. Colin Forster doing a little bit of a slide by there. Is Curtis Kelly will take home this race win here tonight. P1 with P2 going to Josh Susie. 3rd going to Ken Baum Jr. Kevin Click going to finish 4th here tonight. Lucas Nilges with the burnout past us. As Colin Forster going to finish in that 5th spot. William Brown in 6th. Lucas Nilges in 7th with David Smill Jr. in 8th. Bill Hell's going to finish here in 9th with Kyler McCarthy in 10th tonight. Jeremy Zarfos 11th. Matthew Fitz 12th with Kip Easley 13th. Dylan Hastings 14th. Brett Strickler in 15th. William Hobart 16th. Brett Perigo 17th. Andrew May 18th. Jimmy Barr 19th. Carson Pittman 20th. Chris Lynn 21st. And AJ Green going to round out the field in that 22nd position. Let me see right quick. Just waiting for Curtis Kelly and Ken Baum Jr. It looks like we got Ken Baum and Josh Hussey. So just waiting for Curtis Kelly to hop in the interview queue, and we will get to your race winner interview here in just one moment. As Chris, just an excellent race here tonight from all of our drivers. I mean, we saw just some really solid racing there from the leaders. I mean, it could have gotten maybe a little bit closer there, but hey, you can't fault them. We know how these drivers have to deal with the battles of a track like Sonoma. So overall, just for them to be as close as they were for as long as they were, heck, that's a testament to how much fun I'm pretty sure these guys had out here. I definitely know it's one of those tracks that can either absolutely, absolutely trigger you or absolutely, you know, bring out the best in you. And it seems like it did bring out the best in Curtis Kelly here tonight, as he will take home that race win. So we'll give him just a few more seconds here. If he doesn't join, we'll go ahead and bring up that Tua Kinbaum Jr. and start at third place. But we'll see. All right. Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and bring up Kinbaum Jr. and we'll talk to third place. Kinbaum Jr., Chris, and Josh up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey man, we saw a strong start from you on that outside pole here tonight. But we know at a track like Sonoma, it can definitely be one of those tracks that even if you don't intend to, or if you do intend to, whatever it may be, it's very easy, very difficult to just you know try not to mess up. But it's very easy to mess up. Did see a little bit of contact between I'm not sure, was it you and it was you and Josh Susi, we know. But other than that, you seem to have a good race. Everybody pretty much kept it clean between you guys. And other than that, just take us through tonight. And you know I do know that you started in fourth. Excuse me, I said outside pole. I meant to say in fourth. But tell us, how does it feel really racing this track and put it into perspective for some of the viewers? I mean, man, it's a tough track out there.
You just gotta hit your marks because as soon as you don't hit your marks, you're out of the line and it's hard to make up because you got to be setting up for the next turn. But the car was all right. It wasn't what I was expecting, but if it fall off, it get better. Fall off. I'm glad I got third out of it. Contact at the beginning of the race, I just rolled the turn a lot better and just caught him at the wrong time.
Oh, yeah, I definitely know what that's like. I have been on my fair share of those missing the corners. I know what that's like. I'm not a good road course racer in these big old stock cars. But Ken, it was a great drive. I mean, we did see some people have incidents and fall back through the field. You were able to maintain at least a solid position, pick up a P3 here tonight. And if you've got any final words, thoughts, shout outs, anything before we get out there, we'll let you go and at least get home tonight with a P3.
Yeah, just like to thank the guys over at Turn Two Terribles, working hard, and we like these finishes. Jeremy Zarfest Photography, Turn Two Terribles podcast, my girlfriend and my little baby girl. I thank them for everything. Thank you guys too.
All right. Well, thank you, Ken. It's been awesome watching you guys out there tonight. We'll hopefully see you next week and be talking to you again here soon.
Thank you.
And that was Ken Baum Jr. Going to go ahead and bring up Josh Susi and have a quick word with him.
To my right
Jo-
rear.
Oh, sorry, Josh. Didn't
Hey,
mean to
no,
cut
you're
you
good.
off there, buddy. But yep, Chris and Josh up here in the booth. And hey, man, we did see right there at the start of the race, you did start pole. Obviously, a little bit of contact there with Ken Baum Jr. Just said he rolled the corner a little bit too much, caught you at the wrong time. But man, if you think, other than that, you think you had the race car to beat here tonight, and do you think if maybe that contact, we might be talking to a different person there, P1 tonight?
Well, I know 100% if Curtis didn't show up tonight, you'd be talking to a different person for today. But I don't know, to be honest with you, because at times in the run, I was better, and at times he was better. And then, of course, the last lap of the race, he goes out there and steals quick time from me. So it's hard to say. If I hadn't have got that incident in seven, which, I don't think Ken did it on purpose at all, it just really sucked. Uh, it would have been fun. I'm not sure how that would have played out. I didn't really find my groove until, oh geez, I don't even know, maybe like 20 laps in or so when I really felt solid with the set, and it was around the time that Ken and them started pitting. I pushed it a little longer, and yeah, I was just able to rip off a lot of really good times between the time that they pit and when I pit, made up a ton of time. It would have been. I wish I would have had the opportunity, but that happens on road courses. So
Hey, we do know that. I mean, it's one of those things that we stress it a lot tonight. It takes fortitude just to even keep driving on a road course after one hiccup, let alone multiple. So hey, Josh, you had an excellent night out there. Granted the contact, but man, bringing it home second. We know you wanted probably the win, but still a great or not, excuse me, not photo finish. I don't know why I said that. A great podium finish for you. And if you got any final words or anything before we let you get out of here, man, you're more than welcome to throw them out there, and we'll let you get on your way and get ready for next week.
yeah, first and foremost, as always, shout out Nitro. Awesome setup as usual. Um, big shout out to Smeal and Kyler for even showing up. I know, especially Kyler's not a huge fan of the road stuff, but kind of worked with him a little bit the last couple days, giving pointers and lines and break points and all that good happy stuff that you get with this kind of racing. And he definitely picked up some speed. So shout out top 10 for both of them. Shout out to Curtis, man. He showed up and had almost, basically a flawless race and capitalized on the rest of us monkeys getting into each other. So, that's what you got to do sometimes. And, by no means was it lucked into or handed to him. He earned it, and he definitely had the pace. So, I'm just happy that I didn't do what I did at Coda and go out lap one and actually had some pace here on a road course. So, we got a few more, I believe. We'll see how those play out, but yeah, I'm just super stoked to be talking to you tonight. I wasn't sure how this was going to go. I didn't expect a podium.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, it's one of those things. One lap you're down, the next lap you're back in it. But Josh, a great race from you, man. You were digging there hard at the end and brought yourself back into the podium. But hey, again, congratulations, buddy, tonight, and hopefully we'll be seeing you next week and talking to you here soon.
All right, I'll try my best. Thank you.
Thank you. And that was Josh. Just gonna go ahead and bring up Curtis Kelly, your race winner. Curtis Kelly, Chris, and Josh up here in the booth. You got a copy?
It gotcha.
Man, sorry about that wait there for just a moment, but hey, I gotta say, an absolutely excellent race, Curtis. You really came out here, started in that third position, knew you had that little bit of accident right there with Kevin Click, y'all getting into each other coming out of turn 4, but you played it smart. You didn't get over, whatever it may be, a little angry, try to hit the gas, try to dump him into the wall and get yourself collected in it, hit the brakes, slowed the car down, got everything settled back out, and like Susie said, after that, a flawless race, man. An excellent race from you as well, and some great pace there at the end to snatch the best time right on the last lap. When Marie said you could be cruising, you were going out there and putting in, hammer down. Curtis, take us through tonight and just how it feels to pick up the race win here at a track like Sonoma.
Feels great. I love Sonoma. It's a fun, technical, challenging track. I do owe Kevin an apology, I think. We were a little bit aggressive with each other there. I wish we hadn't got into each other. I thought he was going to leave me more room on the exit of 3B there. We got into each other a bit. Unfortunately, it was the right rear, so it kind of turned him around. Then after that, we were both just battling to get ahead of each other and a little bit of bumping and banging. But if I knew I was going to have the pace on the back end of the race, I probably would have been more patient at that point. Following those guys for the first 4 or 5 laps, I wasn't sure if the car was going to come to me. So I had to take advantage of him going off when he did and try and get that position to get by, because I knew they were all fast up there. But definitely came to me in the last half of the race. The car was quick. We were able to capitalize on the chaos that happened there on lap 5. And just a really fun race, good setup. Shout out to Conti's setup shop for that. And shout out to the Sparkly Unicorn guys. They're a fun group to run with.
No, yeah, trust me. I can tell you those guys are definitely a bunch of characters to run with for sure. But hey man, Curtis, you had a great race like we said tonight. You really went out there and showed what's the word I'm looking for here? A strong side to yourself that we didn't realize that you might have had. I mean, we haven't seen much of the road course racing here with me and Chris being back in, but you've had your great runs on the oval, just caught in some of the accidents. But coming out here tonight, man, it was like almost watching a brand new driver. You were out there just digging, you were moving hard, and even like we said, all the way down to the last lap, just putting the pedal down and really not lifting. So I got to say, from my perspective, I think you ran almost, besides a little bit of the Kevin Click incident, you ran virtually a perfect race out there. No major offs, no big wrecks. So hell, from my side, I gotta say, great job from you.
I appreciate that. I was definitely hunting the lap times once I got some clean air there. We pitted at one point a little earlier than I planned on just to get some clean air to run those fast laps some more. I was battling Colin Forrester a little bit there, the legend, throughout the race, trying to get that lap time from him, and I was pretty happy to get it on the final lap. slowly learning what the car liked everywhere, is learning some new things about the track that I never really knew, to be honest, and just fun all around.
Heck yeah, man. Well, I got to say, Curtis, it was an excellent job. Where do we race at again next week? Do you guys know? I can't remember.
Iowa.
Iowa. Okay, so I was gonna just say, man, going into Iowa next week, you think this is gonna help that momentum? I know going from a road course to a track like Iowa is one of those big momentum changes, or should I say, big tempo changes. But do you think this momentum is gonna help you go into Iowa? And do you think that next week we might see a reformed Curtis Kelly, as we should say?
I hope to do better on the oval side this coming week. I'm kind of new to running open sets a lot, so it's a little bit of a different experience for me running from a fixed set. Haven't been to Iowa in a while, but it's a interesting track, very different from most ovals. So I hope the road course skills will show a little bit there because it does drive a bit differently. And we'll just see what happens. You know, just looking to have fun this season, not in the playoff run or anything, and just here to show what I can.
Heck yeah, man. It was a fun run from you tonight, Curtis. Had a blast watching you pick up the race win. Excited to see you going into Iowa next week. If you've got any final words, thoughts, shout outs, anything you want to say before we let you go?
Shout out Skybox NASCAR and the Laying Coin podcast. They do sports betting info on NASCAR, and they got some really good tips on there, some really good insight, and just a fun conversation if you ever want to pick up a new podcast to listen to. Laying Coin podcast.
Heck yeah. Well, again, Curtis, thank you for your time, man. Sorry about the little bit of a wait there at the end, but excited to have a word with you and looking forward to seeing what the 71's going to have going into Iowa next week, man. But enjoy this race win, enjoy the rest of your week, and hopefully we'll be talking to you here soon in the booth again.
Appreciate it. Thanks for the broadcast.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And that was Curtis Kelly. Again, what an excellent race, man. I see the gif over in the Thunderdome right now of Jordan Belfort from the Wolf of Wall Street doing the aggressive clap, and that's how I feel for Curtis Kelly right now, man. Just a solid race, a solid freaking race. A good job from him. Way to pick up the momentum. And hey, going into Iowa next week, Chris, it could be one of those things that momentum shifts, and we might be seeing a new driver up here. That's he's had speed, he's shown the speed, just been caught up in the mess.
Yeah, and the one thing that I was gonna say, Josh, Iowa, that's my track. I've won more races there than I've probably lost at Iowa, so I am ready for that. That is one of my favorite tracks. One of my favorite drivers is Rusty Wallace. That's pretty much his track. I know maybe I'm thinking of something else. Could be thinking of Iowa. But I know,
It is Iowa.
yeah, it's one of the tracks that I know he loves, and it was one of those things that track is just one of my bread and butters. I love it. I love the bumps. I love turn 4, how you have to, you can ride the wall while everybody's riding down on the bottom, and you can save your tires, and everybody eats theirs up. It's just so much. It's such a fun track. There's 3 different lines on that track, and I cannot wait to get to it. But other than that, the fun race tonight. Like you said, Josh, Curtis Kelly just showing one hell of a drive. Having that little bit of an incident with Kevin Click, and then coming back and still just showing that, hey, this is my track. Like you heard him say, he said it. He was ready for it. So just a good drive, good drive from Josh Susi to come back from that, and a good finish for Ken Baum. So other than that, Josh, I'm just ready for Iowa next week.
I know you are. Trust me. I'm ready for Iowa as well. It's a great track. It puts on a great show, and I think our full throttle guys are going to come in numbers next week. We know how it is at the road courses. The numbers drop a little bit. Not everybody wants to drive right and left all night, so understandable. But I think next week we'll have a bigger field. We'll have some aggressive racing, and it's going to be an awesome show. So you're definitely not going to want to miss out on Iowa. It's going to be fun. Chris is going to be hyped up. I'm going to have to be calming him down because he's going to be freaking out over how excited he is for that race. But hey, other than that, it's got to say one more time, big, huge congratulations to Curtis Kelly. It was a hell of a run from him. Josh Susi is well able to drive his way back, and Ken Baum getting into that 3rd spot. But other than that, Chris, I think that's going to be all from us up here in the Full Throttle booth for the Litter Box 90 at Sonoma Raceway. Saying thank you, good night to everyone in the chat. Thank you for showing up, and we'll hopefully see you guys next week at Iowa. And yeah, good night. Enjoy the rest of your week. And once again, congratulations, Mr. Curtis Kelly.